In this lesson, you'll learn 12 phrases fluent speakers use to guide conversations without sounding pushy or rude. Let's start with this one. Read the room. It's about paying attention to how people are reacting and how they're feeling. If people look bored or tense or impatient, fluent speakers adjust immediately. They read the room and change direction. Think about your last conversation or meeting in English. Did you read the room? Next phrase, in a nutshell. When you say in a nutshell, you're telling the listener that you will be brief. For example, in a nutshell, the plan didn't work. Or, in a nutshell, everything went very well. You're signalling restraint, and that sounds confident. On the flip side, this is a good way to introduce a counter-argument without sounding awkward. For example, the place is in a great location, but on the flip side, it's a bit expensive. Here, you're showing balance. You're not stuck in one position. Next phrase, if I'm being blunt. This prepares people for honesty. It doesn't soften the message, it frames it. It prepares people to receive information that might not be pleasant or popular. For example, if I'm being blunt, the project has not been a great success. Let's not split hairs. This is how you stop arguments about tiny, insignificant details. Let's not split hairs. 3:15 or 3:20 makes no difference. You're not shutting the discussion down, you're moving it forward. You're not splitting hairs. This next one has a similar function. That's neither here nor there. This dismisses a detail that doesn't matter right now. You're pulling attention back to the main issue. For example, why are we discussing the staff kitchen? That's neither here nor there. This meeting is about marketing. This next one is a little firmer. That's beside the point. It tells everyone clearly we're talking about the wrong thing. Used calmly, it stops the conversation drifting. For example, I know you think we should open a branch in Rome, but that's beside the point. Let's stick to today's agenda. Our next phrase introduces the English subjunctive, be that as it may. This means nevertheless or however, but it adds more emphasis and is widely used. You use it when you want to acknowledge someone's point without letting it change the direction of the conversation. For example, I know you're tired, but be that as it may, we must finish this today. Next phrase, let's cut to the chase. This stops the conversation from going round and around in circles. It moves it straight to what matters. For example, let's cut to the chase. Tell me how much all this is going to cost. All right, the next one, the bottom line is. This tells people what the main objective of the discussion is. It's the core point that everything else depends on. For example, the bottom line is we must be finished by Monday. You'll also hear the bottom line used to mean a company's financial result or position, profit or loss. But in conversation, it usually means the most important point. Our penultimate phrase is at the end of the day. This adds perspective and means when everything has been considered. For example, at the end of the day, we have to try and do this. And when you want to end the discussion, you can say, let's wrap things up. That signals the conversation is finished and it's time to move on. These aren't fancy phrases. They don't make your English sound more complicated. They make it natural and decisive. Use a few of them deliberately, not to talk more, but to manage the flow of the conversation. At the end of the day, that's what real fluency is. That wraps up this lesson. I'll see you next time.